something is happening with this situation, and I'm not really sure what it is, but I feel like I've really been sabotaged, and now I'm getting myself into a difficult situation, which, you know, really was just totally unnecessary, and I'm so tired of stuff like this. I had like this is the property management business. These are the people who work at the office that's actually in the housing development here. They are the people who work for these people. So this business has a number of properties that they own and rent to people. And I had noticed that they seemed to, like, this website seemed to be getting friendlier. You know, there were a couple other things about it that seemed they had like the picture of the main website had something that said, you know, it had like a picture with like, it said 536, which, you know, I mean, I've said the number 5 is kind of being abused, but you know, certainly it seemed to be moving in a more positive direction. And so what I had thought, like, I think it was like last week, I was like, last week I was like, all right, well, you know, they have another set of apartments that where the buildings are like the buildings in this development, and you know, I like the apartment. I like, you know, Braintree. I'm kind of getting, you know, I just kind of gotten used to Braintree a little bit. You know, I know my way around somewhat, even though I've been kind of just a prisoner in my own apartment because of everything that happens to me when I try to leave. The video cameras, you know, no, it's not okay to put video cameras in somebody's apartment. But my thought about it was not that it's all right, just that it's a weird time. You know, politically it's a very strange time, and most of the time just kind of normal people are not being called upon to decide, you know, serious moral issues for themselves. I mean, they can understand if they think about it why something is wrong, but it helps when the people who are in authority are not giving them the wrong message about it. So my thought was not that it's, you know, okay, but just that, you know, I felt like the legal thing that they tried to put me through had resolved okay. You know, I didn't really have a problem with it, and I had been feeling like, you know, I didn't have a problem with it so much, except, I mean, there were a few things that I agreed to that I thought were not reasonable, but, you know, I just in terms of like, you know, just, I mean, like they did this thing where they said, you can't be in the office, you know. And I was like, okay, well, and then they were trying to say that I was dangerous, that I was like, you know, something had happened, like someone, I guess, somebody on the internet had just like taken a video from one of the many videos that I've published at YouTube blogs, and it had taken one in which I, you know, there were people screaming at me, and I was responding to them. And actually, what had happened is that the people in that video had ganged up on me, and it was even a video that showed that police officer who was stalking me in Cambridge with his personal vehicle. He was stalking me for months and months, and he was actually shown in the original version of that video, which is, I don't even really know what happened to it, but they took it. And some woman was screaming at me that I had attacked someone, you know, and then somebody put it on my first page of Google search results, which, you know, it was like I hadn't hurt anyone, and it was totally ganged up on by those people, and it was just this really, you know, and so, but it's just like, and out of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos that I have published of the way that I get stalked, the way that I get treated, the way that I get harassed, someone had put that up, you know, and then like they really just really lied a lot. I mean, like they you know, their side of it in this situation, the person representing them did. But it was all kind of resolved at the end. I mean, they were definitely trying to portray me first as being just totally, you know, like having no idea what I was doing, and then they were trying to portray me as being really, really dangerous. You know, and as far as my being able to go in the office building, that still has like the laundry machine, like card thing that you have to, you know, have to put your heart in that to get money, you know, to put money on it. That has the workout room, which, you know, and it has an indoor pool, which is only available a few hours a week. I think they don't have anybody who, you know, I mean, it's just, I think my feeling about this development is that it was like kind of an upscale place a few decades ago, and now it's kind of, you know, I mean, it's like there's a number of poor people who live here. It's, you know, but it's I which doesn't bother me at all. I like it here, you know. I mean, I like it here except for the problems that were here, and I thought, like, well, you know, maybe those are resolving, and, you know, I don't mind leaving, but maybe I can just go. Maybe I can go to one of their other properties, and if they feel reluctant for me to do that, maybe I could also even bring the written agreement there, except for, you know, taking out the parts of it that make it seem like I'm this, like, you know, crazed person who's always about to do something dangerous, you know, because it was unreasonable. It was unreasonable. But you know, I tried to tell the housing director at QCAP about it, and she you know, I don't even know who she talked to, but she gets back to me and she's like, you know, under no circumstances are you going to be able to you know, move to another one of their properties. And I don't even know who she talked to. She said she talked to the lawyer. She said she talked to the woman, this woman, you know, Turk Quijano, about it. And I don't even know if she did that, because I didn't think that my request was unreasonable. You know, and it was just a thought. And not only that, but when I got to the office, when I got to the Quincy Community Action office, she like, the first thing that she did, the housing director did, was like touch her nose when she saw me. And then we were in the meeting, she kept doing it, and I finally said to her, look, you know, could you please stop touching your nose when you look at me? You know, I'm a human being. And then she did again. And it was just like, she was really unfriendly. I don't know what she was even talking about. I said to her, even in the meeting, I said, I know that there are some things, there are things about having me as a tenant which are unusually difficult, you know, and it's not a question of my being mentally ill, it's, you know, the situation that I'm in. And then she, you know, which is true. I mean, like, you know, I'm being like totally persecuted by, you know, the most powerful people in the world. And she looks at me and she goes, and she says, like I had not even said, like, just in total denial of the situation and really trying to hurt me. She goes, like, well, now you yourself say you're difficult to work. It's difficult. You know, you're difficult, basically. And so why is it that you have refused to work with VinFen, which is a mental health agency that's part of the Department of Mental Health? And I said, oh, I didn't refuse to work with them. It's just that I took a look at the paperwork that I would have had to sign to be their client, and I felt like I was signing my life away, which is true. I mean, they had all this stuff. Basically, if they feel like you're incompetent, they can kind of take over your life in various ways. There's even a page about like psychosurgery, you know, like that kind of thing. I was like, nah, I don't think so. Considering the political situation and everything else I'm dealing with all the time, I don't think I really, you know, need to continue to be their client. And I think I've proven that I don't. You know, I got through these court hearings that were just, you know, brought against me by this property management company for no reason whatsoever after they had abused me. You know, I got through the whole process, and I thought it was resolved pretty amicably. And now, like, all of a sudden, everything is just like, you know, turning into this persecutory thing. And I feel like the director of Quincy Community Action has something to do with that. I really do.